Hey guys, just checking in. I did decide I wanted to do this vlog for the Novella Readathon again. I did it for the last one that they put on, and I had a good time. I read some fun novellas, so I thought I'd give it a shot again this time. I am just finished yesterday 2 books. They're super short, I guess not books, novellas. And I decided to start with K Webster. The first book that I started with, I'm not really sure if it'll really hit anything. Maybe it might be one I could do for less than 100 pages prompt. But basically I wanted to read this because I did buy it along with a bunch of her taboo books that I wanted to buy from her website. So it was kind of like an add-on to get this novella. And so I wanted to get it. It's called Step Scandal, and it is a stepbrother romance. It is super short. I think it's like 30 something pages. So I mean, it is good for what it is. There's not much you can do in 30 pages as like character development, angst, and all of that. So I decided to give it 4 stars because it was cute. But I mean, it's 30 something pages and there's not a lot. I think if it was like 70 to 100, it might have been better. But I did enjoy it. It was really cute, very tame for what K Webster usually does. You got the bad boy stepbrother that's pining for his sister. She's like kind of a good girl, and she breaks up with her boyfriend, and they kind of are flirting, and things progress. So it's cute. It's short. It's really, I mean, you can read it like within 10 minutes, I feel like. But I mean, I enjoyed it. I love K Webster, so it definitely is tame compared to the next book I read, which I read Laska, and this is a very dark novella. It's almost horror. Like, she brings that up. She warns you in the beginning of the book. There's triggers, so check your trigger warnings. It's definitely pushing boundaries. It is incest, so it's between 2 brothers, so I guess that could kind of hit one of those prompts too. And they live like in the bush in Alaska, and there's 2 brothers, Aspen and Laska, and Aspen is obsessed with his brother Laska. He's like in love with him. And they end up experimenting together, both loving each other, having sex. So there's incest. The book took a turn because let me tell you, there's cannibalism in this. There's weird sex, there's rape on the page. So again, there's a lot of darkness, and I think this is only like 30 to 40 pages long. So it packs a punch right at the beginning. But I enjoyed it. K Webster always pushes boundaries, and I love reading her books. So I gave this one 4 stars. So it was pretty good. I mean, these weren't like amazing, crazy books. They're really short. So I'm going to go into Ruby Dixon's book next. I'm going to read a book of hers for the disability rep, and I will follow up with you once I get started on that or finished. Hey guys, I just wanted to give you an update. I do apologize. I've been really bad about doing the updates this week, or the last couple days, I mean. It's been really crazy at work, very hectic, training new people, and we're super behind right now. So I've just been really like stressed out. I'm focusing on that. But I want to give you an update. I am trying to do a reading vlog again for Novella Readathon. I did it last time, but I didn't really do check-ins throughout this book. I mean, it's pretty short. It's a novella, so I did finish Ruby Dixon's When She's Lonely. It's an alien romance. This one will hit the disability prompt and the, it could be host rec prompt too. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it for that or not, or if I'm going to read more books. We'll see how this goes. Because I do need to read. I want to try and fit in a book before the end of the month because I want to prepare for an arc I have to read that's in the same series. So I'm kind of crunched for time. So we'll see if I dive in on that. So anyways, this is in the middle of a series that I've never read. So that might have been, it didn't really hinder it, but I didn't really have as much as the history or the world building on like this planet where these humans kind of have a sanctuary to live. Ashley was a captive of aliens, and she was like their slave, and so she kind of suffered for a while, and a lot of these humans have. Now they are free, and she is trying to be a farmer on this planet, has no experience with that. And she also has a disability where she's hearing impaired. So she has a really hard time hearing, but she doesn't want anyone to know because aliens saw, disabilities or impairments as like less than, and you're unnecessary, and they'll get rid of you. So she's still not secure that she'll be safe, that she's going to stay free. So she doesn't want to report that she, has this disability. So she's kind of hiding it. And so she comes off as rude and loud and kind of unapproachable to a lot of the people there and the aliens. So they don't really fully like her. But she accidentally almost burns her barn down because she can't really hear the instructions or understand what the lady is saying that helps her set it up. So she messes that up. Kex is kind of in charge. He helps, out the humans and people that are living on this planet. And he goes out to kind of help her and investigate the issue. She is pretty she won't admit that she can't hear him. He starts to finally kind of catch on of what's going on. And he realizes with the help of his friends that these women have been traumatized in their past and you should be kinder to them. So he kind of goes out and talks to her, and he realizes she can't hear him half the time. And so he kind of confronts her on it and then offers to kind of go take her out on a date. And they start building this really beautiful friendship because he's trying to help her kind of acclimate and make new friends. He kind of helps her go to parties, and a lot of times she can't understand what people are saying, so it's hard. So it was really beautiful. They have a really sweet relationship. Kex is very cinnamon roll hero. They have mutual pining going on while they're friends. And so it slowly builds. I wish there was a little bit more spice in this because they don't really admit their feelings till right near the end, and that's when they finally have sex. But I think it was really cute and really sweet, and it was fun. So I really enjoyed it. I would look forward to going back to the beginning of the series and starting that, but obviously I want to finish Ice Planet of the Barbarians first, so I'll go to that probably later. I'm going to read another host rec that's on Kindle Unlimited, so it can kind of hit those prompts too. And I think it's Big Boss, and it's by Cassie Mint, and it's kind of these huskier men kind of her novellas. So I'm excited to go into that, and I think it's her best friend's dad. So that should be fun. So I'm going to read that next. I'm also reading I'm listening to a book currently. I didn't have a lot of time to listen to it at work like I usually would because of how crazy it's been. But it's for a BIPOC author. It has a longer title, so I forget the full title. It's When I Was Drunk. It was something with a demon. I'll bring it up when I do my check-in on that in a little bit. But thank you again for watching this. Sorry for the bad lighting and probably the shaky camera, but I didn't really feel like setting up my camera today. So I will look up the full name of that title and try and give you guys an update in a little bit. All right, see you next one. Hey everyone, just wanted to check in on my vlog. I've been really bad about doing constant updates this time, so I do apologize. So I'm going to go over the last few books that I read because they were pretty much back to back to back, being novellas and all. So I read the Big Boss by Cassie Mint. I decided to do this one because it's going to be a KU prompt for the readathon, and it's a quick 60-page novella. I love Cassie Mint. This is part of her Big Boys series, so it's huskier, thicker big men, and I love those. I absolutely love when Jessica Kane does those on her King Size and other videos, other books. And Husky is another one of my favorites, so I thought I would love this. So this is about Jacob and was her name? Daphne. And she has basically had a crush on him for a few years. He's her best friend's dad, so it's that kind of best friend's dad romance. And she's been crushing on him for a few years. He obviously thinks she's gorgeous, but thinks it's totally inappropriate for him to be into her. So they basically she's going to stay with him and her best friend for the holidays. They're in college. And so she's close proximity with him and everything, and they start having these interactions, and it's super cute. There's like an ice skating scene where he like helps her put on her ice skates and like rub her feet, and it was just really cute. You could tell like they were like mutually pining for each other. And then of course, you know, you're gonna get the drama at the end where the best friend finds out, but it's not like a bitchy best friend. She understands later. So I really loved this. I gave this 4 stars. It was really fun, quick read. Then I listened to an audiobook for like the last couple days because I haven't had a lot of time to listen to it at work because I have been training a new associate, so I can't just be listening to my audiobook all the time. But I did. Sorry, you'll probably hear my cat in the background. He's kind of like cutting didos right now. Anyways, he just climbed up the tree. So I read That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. I think that's the full title. I'll have it up here. But I really loved this. It was like a fantasy romance. This is my BIPOC prompt. And I really thought it was really cute. It was between Cinnamon and Fallon, and he is a demon. And she ends up running into him kind of after this festival. I can't even remember what it was called. And she helps him, but he's actually like a demon, and he like kind of chases her down. But she accidentally kind of like breaks like this hold that this goddess thing that they've been praying to and praising, which is really not good. She's been holding these demons kind of like hostage and using people and all that kind of stuff. And she kind of breaks that hold on him. So he follows her the next day and basically demands that she help him break the curse. And so they have to go to all these different locations to do that. All these like different temples. And so she's kind of forced onto this adventure journey with him. And he kind of knows from the get-go. You find out later that he knew she was his mate. And so he would like make excuses to have her like try to scare her so she would have to sleep by him when they were outside kind of camping out. And it was just really, really cute. It was really sexy, like dirty talk. And I loved Fallon. He was very possessive and protective over her. And so it was really cute. And then I loved because he like turns into a dragon, and I love dragons. So I was really excited. I thought that was cool. It was a lot of adventure, a lot of fantasy, different like characters, orcs, and all these different kind of things. So I think it's really cool. I've never read Kimberly Lemming before, and I really liked. She packed a punch for such a short, like it's not super short, but it's a novella, and it had a lot of world building and character growth and a lot going on in it for like such a short, romance. So I really enjoyed it, and I know there's other books in the series, so I'm definitely interested in checking those out. I don't know if you guys can see, but that's my cat up in the tree right there. What you doing, Tootsie? What you doing? Okay, so then the last book that I read was the group book, which was Crybaby, and I really loved this book. I found it really unique and different. This was a male-male romance, and it's also a friends to lovers, but the main character, Jason, has like a different kind of kink than like usual. He like gets turned on by crying. When his partner's crying. So he kind of like in the beginning kind of has this monologue going on about like repressing his kinks and all that, which, we've all been there where we're kind of like doubting ourselves sexually or things that we're into. And so I found that really relatable. And he is also bisexual. So he already kind of had hangups and issues trying to come to terms with that as a younger person. And then to find out that he's really into crying during sex. Now the crying isn't actually like in pain. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. He likes the crying where it's like they're so overwhelmed sexually. They're like begging for the orgasm. They're like, intense and like overwhelmed, and they're crying. So that's what turns him on. So he ends up making this friend at his work. His name is Sasha, and he is a hot, charismatic Russian. They have like built this friendship for a few years where they like are always together. They work together. They do like movie nights. They play video games. They're very like in like homebodies together, and it's just really cute. They have an amazing dynamic. Like you can feel the friendship, and like their banter was on point. And I just love both their characters, especially Sasha. And he finds out that Sasha is actually gay. And one night while they're watching a movie and Sasha starts crying, he gets totally turned on. And so things completely change for him. He's always imagining Sasha, and he has like a big crush on him, is in love with him. And so eventually like they are hanging out more, and he's trying to get Sasha out into the dating scene because Sasha had basically never been with a man yet. So he tries to help him out, and then obviously jealousy comes into play, and they decide they're gonna hook up. So then they become like a friends with benefits kind of thing, and they experience different sexual things. Eventually Sasha finds out about his kink, and instead of like being like judgmental or anything, he's so supportive and like helps him out with that, and is like, I'll cry for you, whatever. So I really liked his character. He was super sweet and funny and just no bullshit, and they had a great dynamic. So I really loved it. I gave it 4 stars. It was different, and I'm definitely going to look into reading this author more because I know Samantha like recommends this author a lot. So I'm definitely going to look into reading them because it was a really cute, enjoyable male romance. So that kind of ended the readathon for me. I hit all my prompts, got to black out my bingo board. So it was super fun. I always enjoy these because it gets me to read more novellas than I normally would. I usually read novellas like in between big books as like a palate cleanser. So I definitely recommend you guys trying it the next time they do one, and try out some of these novellas if you're interested. Thank you so much for watching this video. Sorry it was kind of like jam-packed into like multiple books into each clip. I just had a crazy work week, and I kind of didn't film as much as I thought I was going to. So again, thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.